um, whew, buying more kids. This model is simply not going to go away. But is there perhaps a reason behind this? Of course, we know already that, look, it's about creating a different revenue stream, but deeper, is there a deeper core cause in why we are going towards this path? Gabriel Mec is the latest kid that we're after. Recently, we got the here we go for this particular kid. His name is Denna, I believe. Yeah, there you go, Denna. But where we're going to start from, ladies and gentlemen, is this situation right here, where I think the level of debt at Chelsea, yeah, it's quite concerning, and perhaps this is why we are progressing in this kids direction as well. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the other side of the coin, and welcome to your latest Chelsea news. This brother in recent times has been dropping a lot of profitability information for lots of clubs out there. Not that long ago, he dropped the news in regards to Brighton and how profitable they are. This is Liverpool. But if you scroll down, so you can go to Kieran Maguire's page 10 hours ago. This was what was posted in regards to Liverpool and their revenues. But if you scroll down into the second part of the tweet, comparison to rest of the Premier League, figures from 2023, unless says otherwise. Now, I want to bring something up. Look, it's probably not. Let me see if I can make that more visible right now. Yeah, there we go. That's better. If you see Chelsea right there. And if you scroll through that line all the way through to borrowing. So the heading is borrowing and the last heading is net debt. You can see Chelsea borrowing 1.2 billion. 1,200. These are in millions. So 1,265 million. It's 1.2 billion. If you see the net debt as well, 1.4. These are the things that some of the fans have been talking about. If you remember the TalkSport, Chelsea fan that spoke out about the debt and why it's concerning. It's clearly shown here. 2023 figures. 1.2 billion in debt and net debt of 1.4 billion. Now, look, why is it so interesting, or why is it so important, this debt? Well, there's a large component of interest rate that's applied to it as well. First of all, that debt, if you'd notice across all the other clubs, is significantly higher than anyone else. Now, debt financing is something that these owners that we have are very well known for. They don't use their own money, they leverage from the banks. And some portions of this debt have extremely high interest rates. And in order to service them, you're going to have to make a lot of money through, obviously, revenue and player sales and match day ticket sales and so on and so forth, sponsorships, this, that, the other. That's why it's very important for Chelsea Football Club to make as much as money as we can through Champions League qualifications, going as far as possible. Club World Cup is going to generate another income. Front of shirt sponsorship we still haven't had. It'll be interesting to see, with that level of debt, what is the kind of business that we're actually going to do for the upcoming summer window, where we need quality. And maybe this is why, ladies and gentlemen, Chelsea, with such a large debt that we've conjured up, is this one of the reasons why we are going after, quantity as opposed to quality? Why we are going after kids after kids after kids? Because maybe the risk of perhaps not making any money out of them is not as high as perhaps getting someone who are at the age of 27, 28, 29, 30 or 30 plus, because the book value of those players are not going to be there. Is this a direction that the owners have forced themselves in because of the large debt that we have at Chelsea Football Club? I mean, when you have that level of debt and that high interest rate, the room for maneuvering is probably not that much. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is the latest kid that we're linked with. We've been linked with this kid previously. Chelsea are still interested in 16-year-old Brazilian attacking midfielder Gabriel Mec. Talks with his club Gremio are ongoing, but still is no agreement. Other important clubs also want him. So, look, at this moment, I don't have anything else to say in regards to buying kids after kids after kids, besides the fact that maybe this is the strategy that's been forced on us due to the large debt that we have. This is the only way that you could potentially make some money. Now, the problem with all of this is you're not going to win anything with kids. That's like this is a strange situation. We've got large debt that's potentially not going to allow us to go out there and purchase big anymore, which has forced us with this situation. And then this situation is not really going to allow us to make it into Champions League and, compete for titles, winning titles, which in essence will bring money as well. So it's the whole thing is just shambolic. All that money spent on, you look at the squad and you just have to say to yourself, wow, what a waste of money, man. All that debt, there's a large portion of it that is waste. Yes, there's some quality there. And maybe moving forward, some of that quality that we have, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to sell. We're going to sell. I think moving forward, in order to buy new players, in order to buy quality, we're probably going to have to sell quality as well. And it's just going to leave us in a mess. It's really going to leave us in a mess. Now, in the midst of all of this, a couple of days ago, ladies and gentlemen, we've got the Here We Go. This news, we did cover in this channel saying that, it was done and dusted, but we got the Here We Go. Dena Evangelista to Chelsea. Here we go. 17-year-old. So we've got a 16-year-old Gabriel Mec, 17-year-old. We are all over Brazil. Absolutely all over Brazil. I won't be surprised very soon if we end up buying a Brazilian club. I mean, is this one of the reasons why we are going out there and buying a whole heap of kids from Brazil? Maybe we're just trying to, put ourselves in a good situation, in a good stead to buy a club from Brazil. We've always wanted to add more clubs in the multi-club model that we have. Strasbourg is the only one. And then we've always been keen at buying a club from the Brazilian league. So we shall see. Deal agreed for 17-year-old fullback to join Chelsea from Corinthians on 10 million euros plus 4 million add-ons and taxes covered. Contracts until 2032 to be signed soon as he will join Chelsea in 2026. So look, all of this planning for the future, and we have no idea what the present looks like. And as I said, that debt level, I think we need to talk about it at a far greater level, because that debt is not good news. It's seriously not good news. And maybe this is why we're looking at buying kids. And maybe this is what the trend will be down the track, just buying kids after kids and hoping that they turn out to be superstars. We've got more kids coming up in the summer. Estaval, Kendry Paez. Maybe this is it. This is who we are now. Just a team with a bunch of kids. That's who we are. Now, this is what Reece James had to say. I found all of this stuff very interesting as well. Reece James, everyone wants to win and win and win. But when you learn the most, especially with a young team, is in these difficult periods. All right, cool. Good talk, Reece James. Very good talk. But how much more difficult periods do we need to see? I've seen difficult periods in the first season of the ownership. I've seen difficult periods in the second season of the ownership. And now I'm seeing difficult periods in the third season of the ownership. No problems. I hope you are all learning from it. The squad's learning from it. But after the Leicester fixture, I want to see exactly what you've learned. Because Southampton and Leicester fully expect us to win. They're the worst two teams in the Premier League. Absolutely rubbish. After Leicester, there are some unbelievable fixtures lined up for us in the Premier League. You're saying that you're learning from it, or you've learned from it. You learn more in adversity, which makes sense. Show me what you've learned. If you falter again on the fixtures that are lined up after Leicester, I'm not going to believe this thing. I'm not going to believe your nonsense anymore. And Reece James in recent times, I've been talking a lot of nonsense. And we shall see more right here. Reece James on the 2 wins in 9 Premier League games. I think we learned a lot during this spell about ourselves and where we can do things differently going forward. You can't lose sight of what our targets are. These spells can happen in football. They've happened to the biggest teams in the world. See, I don't like when he says this. They've happened to the biggest. These spells can happen in football. They've happened to the biggest teams in the world. Don't worry about others. Why always he justifying what we're doing? 2 out of 9 wins is not good. And this isn't an anomaly that, it's only happened this season. This has happened to us since these owners have taken over. First season, if you guys remember, under Graham Potter, there was a stage where we had 2 wins out of 14. We've seen these nonsense before. Last season as well. Majority of the part of the season, we were 10th, 9th and 10th and 11th. Right at the end, we put some, matches together. So don't tell me these spells can happen in football. They're happening to us far too often. They've happened to the biggest teams in the world. Man City, you want to talk about Man City? They've actually won a lot of stuff. Please focus on us. Don't worry about what others are doing. And this is why I get annoyed when Reece James is more or less now following the script of the ownership, the directorships that we have, the sporting directors, just justifying nonsense. But what we must do is react well, stick to what we know, and stick together as a group. That's what we're doing. All right, well, as I said, fixtures are coming thick and fast very, very soon. Let's see what you do there. Reece James on targets. Now we have to focus on what's ahead. With the Conference League restarting in the final months of the Premier League, we want to keep building momentum, finish the season in the right way, and qualify for the Champions League. All right, good, okay. So we want to qualify for the Champions League. We got our work cut out, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely work cut out. I'll be delighted if we do. We need to get back into Champions League, and now more than ever because of the stupid debts that we have. Can we do it? Have we learned our lesson? We shall see. We shall see. Is there going to be any consequences if we don't make it? Probably not. Probably not, because we as a football club, we don't seem to be accountable anymore. Nothing seems to be accountable. We've embraced mediocrity thoroughly. Ladies and gentlemen, let me know your thoughts about everything we spoke about, especially in regards to the debt levels that we have. I'd love to know your thoughts. Smash up the like button if you're here for the first time. Subscribe. Hit the bell notification to stay in touch with all my content. Till next time, take care. See ya. Goodbye.